Hi there, everyone. It's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Before we get started today, I just wanted to remind you that you have until September 19th to sign up for my 2 holiday card classes for the month of September. We are going to be doing Snowman Season and the So Many Stars bundles. And you can see here what you get. And you can also find more information in the blog post, which will be linked down below. So yeah, September 19th. Now on with the show. Hi there, everyone. It's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Welcome to day 5 of my 2019 holiday card series and another card in my Striker Card Week. So here I am using some of this glitz paper from Die Cuts with a View. It's their glitter paper that doesn't shed. And I added that to a piece of adhesive sheets from Stampin' Up! Because I'm going to adhere these two things together. And since this is so intricate, I didn't want to have to worry about liquid glue. So I'm using a piece of pattern paper from that Penny Black paper pad. I promise I have more paper coming. I promise. But I'm going to go ahead and adhere those two together. And then I'm using the snow globe dies from Stampin' Up! That I'll have linked down below. They're in the holiday catalog. The holiday catalog has gone live. So you can pick those up there. And don't forget to take advantage of the buy 3 get 1 free designer series paper sale. Check out the hostess code if you're going to spend under $150. You can find that with the coordinating blog post that is linked down below. So I'm going to be stamping the snowman from this stamp set in Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm going to add a mask. So I'm using just a piece of Eclipse masking paper. You can get this from Amazon. And then I'm just going to cut around the snowman. I'm not going to worry about cutting out his arms. I'll show you how I'm going to deal with that a little bit later. I went ahead and cut out the little mound for the tree. And then later you're going to see that I end up covering that up. So you don't even need to do that. So I'm going to bring in that tonic matte. I think it's tonic. I don't remember. And some broken china ink. So this is Distressed Oxides. So, and I'm using a round makeup brush from Amazon. Like I mentioned, you can, the picket fence ones are like 40 something bucks. And literally I got this set for $13 on Amazon. And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. So I decided to go ahead and bring in peacock feathers. And the great thing about Distressed Oxides is you can basically cover up the color underneath it. The color that I wanted to match is a little bit more turquoise on this pattern paper and not so much the blue as the broken china. So you can kind of see at the top of that snowman, I missed a little bit. So I'm bringing in a blender pen and that peacock feathers and I'm just going around it. I'm just picking up the ink with the blender pen and then going around it. So I'm just doing one color coloring here. I wanted to do pink and green to go with the paper. So I'm using pink and green to color in the scarf and the hat. And then I'm going to use, I think it's B000 to color in the snowman. And here I'm just using the blender pen. Distressed Oxides react with water and, or wet, wet when something's wet. So that's why I use the blender pen to see if I could add, look like some snowflakes. Then I went ahead and added some shimmer all over it. And here is how I'm fixing the arms and stuff. I'm just using a Sharpie marker. So any archival fine tip marker will do. And here I'm just going to line it up. And there you can see there I went ahead and decided to go ahead and cover up that mound. And then I'm going to bring in a white gel pen to add in some snowflakes. This is really not necessary because it's going to be in a shaker card. You're not going to be able to see it anyway, but I was just playing around. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of demonstrators will make a card and they will make a card again filming, and I don't. I just design as I'm filming. So that's why sometimes I'm like, nope, that didn't work, and I'm going to start all over. So I'm using these snow globe cups from Stampin' Up. These are amazing. They coordinate with that snow globe die set, and it's so simple. You don't have to worry about acetate and all that other stuff. And I love that it's domed. So I'm using the snowflake sequins from Stampin' Up! Again from the holiday catalog. One thing that I will let you know is if you want to You can use like a dryer sheet, like a used dryer sheet, and go along the inside of it to kind of cut back on the static. I actually tried using like an embossing buddy or pal, and I didn't like the film it left. So I think that if you wanted to, you know, cut down on static cling, you could use a dryer sheet, but honestly it isn't that big a deal. It was staticky at the like very beginning, but then I didn't have an issue with it. So I'm just going to adhere this paper with a snail. You will want to make sure that you're going around the entire snow globe to get that paper adhered securely. I'm going to trim off the excess, and then I'm going to be adding this to a piece of granny apple green that I've cut at 4 1/4 by 11, squirted at 5 1/2, and I'm using a Teflon bone folder here and liquid glue to adhere this because I want to adhere that straight down. And then I'm going to bring in the base. First, I'm going to use my Big Shot die brush to brush out all the little pieces. And then I'm going to take off the backer of that adhesive sheet, and then you can just easily adhere it. You don't have to worry about glue and getting glue everywhere. If you guys have followed me for any amount of time, you guys know I can be pretty messy with the glue. So I'm going to bring in some foam strip because I am out of dimensionals, and I'm going to adhere this down. Now you could put this flat, but I kind of like the way it looks with it popped up. So I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of granny apple green and an embossing powder thing. Again, you could use your dryer sheet to do this, and I'm going to stamp that Merry Christmas with Versamark ink, and then I'm going to add some white embossing powder, and then I'm going to heat it up. After I heat it up, I'm going to end up trimming it down just as close to as I can get, and then I'm going to cut off the ends here. I tried to do a banner and I can't do that. I don't know why I always try to freehand that, but if you have a square punch, you could do it with that. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of that. So yeah, so this is basically about it. I'm going to add some shimmer, and then I'm going to stamp on the inside using some sea glass ink from Gina King Designs. So like I mentioned, make sure that you head over to the coordinating blog post. Check out the Designer Series paper sale. If you're spending under $150, you can use the hostess code, and you will get a hostess code gift at the end of the month. Actually, it'll be like the middle of next month because I have to I can't close the hostess code until the very last day of the month. So yeah, and if you're interested in joining my team, we can do that. Just make sure you give me a holler. So yeah, so thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you are enjoying this week of shaker cards. Like I said, these new things from Stampin' Up! Just make it stupid simple. So yeah, all right, guys, I'll see you on Friday for another video. Bye for now.